let's talk knees. I get a very large amount of emails asking about one or two specific questions. And so I wanted to address them all within one sort of quick video blog. So the first thing that I'm going to talk about is the common question that once I align my feet, as you can see our foot model has here, when I bend my knees, they tend to go in towards each other. And for those of you who are having problems or experiences being knock-kneed or straightening your feet and feeling like you're getting a lot of friction or banging with your knees back and forth, I want to explain to you why that's happening. So most people walk with their feet pointing out like this to varying degrees. Some people look like they're actually going in maybe completely opposite directions, and other people have just slight degrees. But when you first start, you want to go ahead and make sure the outside edges of the feet line up straight. And I suggest that you use a straight edge of a carpet or a yoga mat to get that alignment. But once you have your feet straight, we're going to go ahead and take a look at what's going on the back side of the legs here. So as we look at the back of our model's legs, what I've done is I've gone ahead and I've drawn, kind of highlighted the hamstring tendons as they pass on the knee. Now the cool thing about the hamstring tendons is they're like the visual objective marker of how the knee joint is articulating. So if your feet are pointing straight ahead, but your knee joint is out to the side, you can see when you bend what's going to happen with the knees. So there's a whole entire other muscle system that's involved in straight-legged walking. And it's going to be up at the level of the pelvis. It's the deep hip rotators. So let's come back here and look at the backs of her knees. We're going to have her externally rotate, which means she rolls the thighs out and away from each other. And you can see how that external rotation centers everything so that when she bends her knees, now they're not going in towards each other, but are going straight ahead. Now go ahead and go back to where you were before you used your pelvic floor and your deep hip rotators and bend. You can see how the knees go in towards each other. Many people think that they're hypermobile through the knees. So that's another question that I get. Like, should I not straighten my legs all the way? But let me show you something. When you straighten your legs, if you don't externally rotate at the same time, what happens is you move the bones around and you end up completely bypassing kind of the seat belts of the knees. So for those of you with more sensitive knees, the more you can spend in external rotation, then you can straighten your legs all you want and you're not going to go past these ligament barriers. So there's another question that I often get asked about, how much should I straighten my legs? Here in our alignment program, we work with a fully extended leg. So if I have our model face this left wall, it's commonly assumed that we only have two knee positions, bent or locked. And locked is not really the right term here. What locked really means is, do you have your patellas lifted up all the way? So as our model faces the front, you can see that what locked implies are this motion here. So you can see her ability to lift and lower her kneecaps. If you can lift and lower your kneecaps, your legs are not locked. So what you want are straight legs with relaxed kneecaps. Now when you go back to realigning the knee pits in the back, when you first start, and here's another cool thing about that, go back to that internal and external rotation, you'll see that the height of the arch of the foot is affected by the position or the activity that's up in these deep hip rotators up along the pelvic floor. So if you have really, really flat feet, then you also are very likely to have really, really tight rotators of the pelvis. You can go ahead and give it a couple more times of that. When you try external rotation for the first time, you're going to have to come up and check to make sure that while your legs are straight, that they're not locked. And so as you look up at the kneecaps, you want to make sure that your kneecaps are completely relaxed. This is going to be difficult for those of you out there who like to brush your teeth with your kneecaps, right? If you're that quad strong. So now you have a couple more things to practice, and I will see you back on the ranch.